Good morning and welcome back. Today we are going to start the next chapter. It is still over circles though. This chapter is going to start by talking about circumference and area of a circle. Now, the circumference of a circle. Think of it very similar, much like our perimeter, but the circumference of our circle it's curved as it's a circle, so it's the distance around a circle. Okay. So if we were to measure from here all the way around, that is the circumference. And when finding the circumference, there are two ways you can do it. The first one here, C equals pi times d, that d stands for diameter. The second option is 2 pi r, where r is radius. Now you might be wondering, well, why are there two different formulas? If you think about it, radius we know is halfway from the edge, so the center to the edge, or halfway across the circle, where the diameter is the whole way. So if we double the radius, we get the diameter. That's why the 2 and the r give us that pi. Now area, this other formula for today, pi r squared, that represents how big is the circle, what's the area of the circle. Okay, so these are the formulas. Maybe pause it, write those down if you don't have them already written down. So find the circumference of this circle. All we have to do is just 2 times pi times r, which in our case here is 9. Now, 2 times pi times 9. When we do this 2 times, I recommend you go to desmos.com/scientific, pi times 9, and I use pi for pi, or you can hit the button right here. Okay, if you're doing this on Delta Math, if you type in pi, it also will pop up the symbol. And finally, if you're using your iPhone, you have to turn it to the side, or an Android phone. Most calculators, you got to turn it to the side to do that. Okay, so if we do that, we get 56.5 is our answer. And in this case, our label is meters. So 56.5 meters. Okay. Question 2 asks us to find the area. So we'll do pi times whatever r squared is. So 14 squared. You might know 14 times 14 is 196. If you didn't, just do pi times 14 raised to the second. And we get 615.8 when we round. Now this label will be a little different. It will be kilometers squared. Okay, so kilometers squared is our answer because it's area. Anytime it's area, it's whatever it is squared. If it's circumference, that's just a distance, so that's going to be just meters. All right, our next one, to find the diameter of, or if A equals 78.5 feet squared. So this is the area. And we know our formula for area, 78.5, is the same as pi r squared. And we don't know what r is, but to find it, we can start by dividing here. And we'll divide 78.5 by pi. That would equal r squared. Then we'll take the square root of that. So 78.5 divided by, pi, or pi, we get 24.98, da 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 da. Now, to take the square root, if you're using this calculator, just hit that and then hit ANS. ANS stands for answer. Okay? And the reason that's helpful, it fills it in for us. We get 4.99. If we round, we'll get 5. Okay? Now, that is what R equals. It's 5.0 feet. That is not our answer. It asks us what the diameter is. To find the diameter, we just times by 2. So diameter will equal 10 feet. 5 times 2 gives us 10. All right, on to the next one. Question number 4. Find the radius if C equals 62.8 inches. Okay, so 62.8 inches, that's our circumference. And we're trying to find the radius. So 62.8 will equal 2 pi r. We want to get r by itself, so we'll divide by both 2 and pi. That'll cancel out. You do it to one side, do it to the other. So we said it was 62.8 divided by 2 pi. And we get 9.99. So if we round, our radius on this case will be 10 labels inches. Okay, 2 more problems we're going to talk about. These ones are maybe a little different in how they're represented. Example 5 here says a greeting card is made up of 3 semicircles. O is the center of the large semicircle. Sarah wants to decorate the distance around the card with a ribbon. how much ribbon does Sarah need? Okay, around to the nearest tenth. So we need what this whole length is. If we think about it, it's 3 semicircles. You might remember from last chapter, or actually 2 chapters ago, a semicircle is half of a circle. Okay, it's 180 degrees, half of it. So if O is the center, we have a large circle here with a diameter of 5.2 plus 5.2, right? So to figure this one out, we can know that it would be, well, the radius is 5.2, so 2 times pi times 5.2, but that would tell us what the entire circle is, and we only have half of it. So this bottom one, to figure out what just half the circumference is, we will just times by 1/2. And now we're going to add that with, so that would take care of this chunk right there. We're going to add that with, it'll be pi times 5.2. Now once again, that would take care of this, but we only have half of it. So half of that, except there's a second one that's exactly the same. So if we times that by 2, that will cancel. And we actually can times it by pi times 5.2. So over here, half times 2 will cancel as well. So pi times 5.2 plus pi times 5.2. It's a little bit goofy, but that will tell us our answer. Oops. And we get 32.7 inches. And we're done. Okay, the final one. As part of her artwork, Sally bends the length of a wire into the shape shown. Shape is made up of a semicircle and a quadrant. Find the length of the wire. Now, when we say a quadrant, that means 1/4 of the circle. So right here is our quadrant. It's only 1/4 of the circle. And then here is the semicircle. Now, this dotted line does not have anything there. We already know right here there is 12 centimeters of wire, and right here there is 12 centimeters. So we add that together. We know we have at least 24 centimeters. Plus, now if we think about it, we said a quadrant is only 1/4. So we can do 1/4 times 2 times pi times r, which in our case r is 12. If we do that, that will take care of this chunk. Okay, plus now it's going to be 1/2. It's only half. This chunk will be half, and then it's times 2 times pi times 12. All right, so we know we have 24 plus, we said it was 1/4 times 2 times pi times 12, plus we also have 1/2 times 2 times pi times 12. And our final answer there, we get 80.5. And since this is length again, 80.5 centimeters. Hope you guys have a great day. There is an assignment. The good news is the assignment on Delta doesn't have you do these hard ones yet. It's just like the ones on the front. So take your time, but let's get that done. And if you have questions, please let me know.